Hello there guys, welcome to one of my videos. Gonna be giving you an update on some transfer news. So according to Sky Sports, Koulibaly is keen on a move to Man United. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer reportedly wants to sign Koulibaly. He's been on his agenda for some time. And according to Marca, Solskjaer identified Koulibaly as his top defensive target some time ago. Napoli's owner recently slapped a £100 million asking price on him, but he insists he will not leave in this January transfer window. Koulibaly is regarded as one of the best defenders in the world. He's been at Napoli for several years. He's got a contract with Napoli until 2023. Napoli paid £6.5 million for him from Genk. Before he was at Genk, he was at Metz. He is the age of 29. Don't forget, City and Liverpool have inquired about getting him before. So that's the breaking news on him. Now I want to delve into some news on Leon Bailey. So reportedly Manchester United still want to sign Leon Bailey. He plays for Bayer Leverkusen. This is his fourth season now, is it, with Bayer Leverkusen. He's got a contract with Bayer Leverkusen until 2023. Bayer Leverkusen paid €20 million for him from Genk. I think he's valued in the £20 million range. He is a winger and he's only the age of 23. So that's the breaking news on him. Now I want to delve into some news on Declan Rice. So West Ham are considering lowering their asking price to £50 million for Declan Rice. West Ham value him at around £80 million. Now we're interested, City are also interested, Liverpool are now interested, and Chelsea have been interested in him. It was stemming from ESPN the other week saying that Man United are set to rival Chelsea for Declan Rice. Frank Lampard was infuriated when he missed out on him because I think Declan Rice is Frank Lampard's top target. Declan Rice has been at West Ham for several years. He is the age of 22, predominantly a holding midfielder. Got a contract with West Ham until 2024. There's also an option to extend his contract for a further 12 months. Before he was at West Ham, he was at Chelsea. He was in their youth setup for several years. But yeah, I'd take Declan Rice at Man United. You know, he's done very, very well since he broke into West Ham's first team. And he's obviously well proven in the Premier League. You already know the news on Dayot Upamecano from RB Leipzig. Bill's Christian Fark recently provided us with an update on the Dayot Upamecano transfer saga. It does mention that Bayern Munich are leading the race for him. Karl-Heinz Rummenigge, the Bayern Munich CEO, has confirmed Bayern Munich's interest. And I think Bayern Munich wants to pay a lower fee than his actual release clause. His release clause becomes active at the end of the season, so he's going to be available for around £38 million. So us, City, Chelsea, Liverpool face a transfer battle with Bayern Munich in the race to sign Upamecano. RB Leipzig's CEO said quite a few weeks ago that we'll sell our top performers again if that makes financial sense. It was last year he signed a contract with RB Leipzig until 2023, and that's when his release clause come into the equation. RB Leipzig paid €10 million for him from Red Bull Salzburg. You already know the news on Jadon Sancho. Raphael Hoggenstein said that his move to Man United in this January window is possible, but he said it's unlikely. Sancho leaves Dortmund, it will be in the summer. And Erling Haaland, he still remains on our agenda. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer would love to sign Erling Haaland because Solskjaer knows the player well. Solskjaer was the one that gave Haaland his debut at the age of 16 at Molde. We wanted Haaland back in 2019 because Solskjaer and Woodward went to Norway to meet up with Erling Haaland to negotiate a move to Manchester United. And Erling Haaland's father, Al Finch Haaland, has been speaking about his transfer links to Man United. City have also been in for him. The Athletic recently said that Chelsea are looking to make an early move. I think he actually mentioned that he wants to go to Real Madrid. But I'm very, very sceptical he'll leave this year. I think he's expected to leave next year when his £68 million release clause becomes active. Dortmund paid just over £17 million for him, and he's got a contract with Dortmund till 2024. But he has been a revelation since his arrival at Dortmund. As you all know, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has already given us an update on our January transfer plans, and he did mention that January signings are unlikely, and Sky Sports recently said that Solskjaer says signings are long-term, not a quick fix. So we are focusing on the outgoings rather than the incomings in this January transfer window. Solskjaer did recently make an admission saying that there could be more departures in this January transfer window. He actually said prior to the Fulham game there could be one or two more players leaving. He's still deadwood at the football club. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has already confirmed that Sergio Romero and Marcus Rojo are free to leave in this January window. He did mention that their contracts won't be extended. Jesse Lingard, now he recently got removed from the squad. Amad Diallo Traore is now taking his place. Solskjaer has recently been in disagreement over Jesse Lingard's future, and I actually heard him say that he actually wants him to stay at Man United this month. But he has been heavily linked to a move away from the club. Now, Tottenham have recently been interested. Sheffield have been interested. Nice were interested, but it also said now that they have culled their interest. Villa have been interested. West Ham have been in negotiations with his agent. Celtic and Rangers were in for him last year. I think towards the end of last year, Real Sociedad were talking with his agent. Jesse Lingard lost his place in the team a while ago. Odi Nagalo, I'm expecting him to leave the club. His loan expires at the end of this month. Daniel James, he's been linked to a move away because obviously he's lost his place in the team, and there's obviously been rumours of Brandon Williams going out on loan. Brandon Williams is our third choice left back following the arrival of Alex Telles. And I think a few more players could leave Man United in the summer. Don't forget, Woodward promised that he will back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in this January transfer window. Woodward did say towards the end of last year that we will back Solskjaer with a long-term plan centred around summer transfer windows. Like I've said to you so many times, the board has been one of the biggest problems at the club for several years. Because you can say they haven't backed any of the managers that we've had since Ferguson left, and our recruitment policy's been gash for quite a long time now. Woodward's been at the club since 2012, and the Glazers have been at the club since 2005. This January transfer window, Solskjaer's 5th transfer window as Man United manager. Don't forget he recently said though, our fine form justifies the club's support. So what he means in that aspect is, with the backing he has received recently, that's played a part in our good vein of form. Now, yesterday, I did give you the news on Donny van de Beek. ESPN said that Man United have rejected several loan offers for Donny van de Beek. Donny van de Beek seldom starts in the Premier League. He's only started 2 games in the league so far, and that was West Ham and Southampton. Most of Donny van de Beek's appearances have come from the bench. Now, we got Van de Beek last summer, got him in a deal worth £40 million. We paid £35 million up front, and there was £5 million in add-ons. Van de Beek is under contract on Man United until 2025. I expected him to play a lot more than he has done. Solskjaer was talking about him a few weeks ago, and he insists that he has a bright future at Man United. And he said he tips him to emulate Fred and Lindelof by succeeding at the club. So basically, we've blocked him from leaving on loan in this January window. Ronald de Boer said not so long ago that he actually wanted Donny van de Beek to leave Man United. Edwin van der Sar, the Ajax CEO, said not so long ago that he spoke to people at Man United about Donny van de Beek. And he says Man United remain confident that Donny van de Beek will be a success at Old Trafford. And Van der Sar also mentioned that he's been showing fantastic attitude in training despite his lack of game time. Van de Beek obviously can play in like 3 different roles. You can put him as a box-to-box midfielder. That was his predominant position at Ajax. You can also put him as a number 10, and you can also put him out wide. Surely Donny van de Beek's going to be given a chance tomorrow in the game against Liverpool in the FA Cup 4th round. By the way, Amad Diallo Traore could be handed his debut tomorrow against Liverpool. Solskjaer did say not so long ago that Amad Diallo Traore could be part of the first team squad in the next few weeks. We obviously got him in a deal worth £37 million. I think we paid 19 million up front and the rest was in add-ons. Amad Diallo Traore to Man United was official earlier on this month, but actually the deal was agreed back in October. And to be honest with you, I do like the way that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has promoted the youth. Because the young players have been given their chances. But when Solskjaer got appointed in as Man United manager, he did say, in general, everybody would get their chances to express themselves, including the young players. And I credit him because he's brought more young players into the club. And I'm sure Facundo Pellistri will get his chances in the first team. Not so long ago, he had COVID. There's a lot of players that Man United will keep as well, as get rid of. We'll keep obviously more players and sell. We'll certainly keep Marcus Rashford. Like I said, I think Marcus Rashford has really improved under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. He's had some bad games though as well. Rashford can play out wide and you can play him centrally, but I think he's more effective out wide. But Rashford, when he's playing well, he scores good goals, he creates chances, he gets good runs in behind. Still got a lot of development in him. He's only in his early 20s, Rashford's been part of the club for several years. He's been a United player since the age of 7 and he's been in our senior squad since 2016 and since then has become an integral part of our team. I think we'll keep Anthony Martial. He has been subjected to transfer speculation before. He has been out of form though for the vast majority of this season. He's had chances, just hasn't been clinical enough. And there is a lot of Man United fans that are now saying Martial should be dropped. Don't forget earlier on in the season he had a 3-match suspension in the Premier League because he got sent off in our 6-1 defeat to Tottenham. A lot last season Martial was playing centrally, but he can also play out wide. Solskjaer was the one that gave him that number 9 shirt. He's been at the club over 5 years now. Martial was good last season and he was good in his debut season under the Louis van Gaal era. We'll also keep Edison Cavani. I think he probably will see out his contract at Man United. I think Edison Cavani has enjoyed a fantastic start to his Manchester United career. Don't forget, not so long ago, he served a 3-match suspension because of the racist comment that I'd put on social media last month. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer confirmed that he had apologised for that. Solskjaer was talking about Cavani earlier on in the season, saying that he's definitely a starter for Man United and we're already looking to extend his contract. And he revealed the first thing that he asked when he came in, and that's whether he could wear the number 7 shirt. Yeah, we got Cavani on a free last summer. He signed a 1-year contract on Man United with an option of a 2nd year. And I said when we got him in, he will be the next Zlatan Ibrahimovic. We'll also keep Mason Greenwood. Mason Greenwood is the foreseeable future for Man United. I haven't really had much of a perception on him though this season, because he hasn't actually played as much as I expected. But don't forget, earlier on in the season he had personal issues. At one point he was out with injury and at one point he was out with illness. But Solskjaer's been defending him a lot this season. At the start of this season we give Mason Greenwood that number 11 shirt. We'll obviously keep Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes has certainly made the difference in the team, predominantly number 10. Bruno Fernandes has been at the club now almost a year. He won Player of the Month for December, but he's won that now quite a few times, reflecting on his good performances. Solskjaer defended Bruno Fernandes prior to the Fulham game and he denies that he needs a rest, but he needs a rest at some point because I think we have overplayed him. Bruno Fernandes is our best player and he's the best signing you can say we've made since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. Is Bruno Fernandes. He was disappointed that we didn't win a trophy last season because he said he came to Manchester to win trophies. Now, obviously, we'll keep Fred because I think Fred has really improved under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. He's showed good attacking intent. He's broke up the play well. I think the only thing that Fred needs to work on is his reading of the game. He's been subject to some transfer speculation before. Fred's been at the club now for a few years. Got him in a deal worth £52 million from Shakhtar Donetsk. I think we'll also keep Scott McTominay. Certainly Scott McTominay's best game in a Man United shirt was the 6-2 win against Leeds because he scored twice in that game and he also got an assist. And he did very well in the Watford game in the FA Cup third round, scored in the 5th minute of that game. McTominay's been part of the club for several years. Can he emulate into a world-class midfielder? Because he's certainly not world-class at the moment. Just after the first lockdown, he did actually sign a 5-year contract with Man United, Scott McTominay. Like I said to you, there's a good chance now that Paul Pogba will stay at Manchester United. His future is on hold, and it says that Paul Pogba will make a decision on his future at the end of the season. Now, it recently said he was considering making a U-turn at the club, and he contradicted Mino Raiola for the second time. There's actually a chance that Paul Pogba will sign a long-term contract at Man United. Don't forget, earlier on in the season, we triggered that 1-year extension on his contract, so he's under contract at Man United till June 2022. But I've got to give him a lot of credit because his performances recently have been very good. He's done very well since he come back from the ankle injury that he had earlier on in the season. He was out for the vast majority of last season with an ankle injury and had a minor injury not so long ago. He has had a long-running transfer saga. PSG have been in for him. He did say not so long ago that PSG were talking with Paul Pogba's agent Mino Raiola. And said a few weeks ago that Mauricio Pochettino identified him as his number one target. He's been relentlessly linked with a return to Juventus. He said Juventus are preparing to make a move for him in the summer. Swap deals have been high on the agenda. It said that Juventus had offered us Aaron Ramsey as part of a swap deal for Pogba, turned it down. They also offered us Douglas Costa as part of a swap deal for Paul Pogba, also turned that down. But it did mention that we was interested in an exchange deal. Pogba did endure 4 good years with Juventus. He's also been relentlessly linked with a move to Real Madrid. A few weeks ago, it said that we revealed our asking price, we want around £75 million. Now, Duncan Castles recently said that Paul Pogba's trying to set up a summer move away from Man United with his recent performances, and Fabrizio Romano, who's a very reliable Italian journalist, he said that Paul Pogba will leave in the summer, providing that an agreement is reached. Mino Raiola told 2 Sport last month, don't forget, that his client's career at Man United is over. Said he's unhappy and he has to leave and he's got no intentions of signing a new contract. And obviously Solskjaer was furious with Mino Raiola's announcement because it was just before the game against RB Leipzig in the Champions League. But Solskjaer did say earlier on this season that Pogba can be convinced to stay at the club if the club win trophies. And it's actually since Darren Fletcher's been part of the first team coaching staff that Paul Pogba has done very well. And he also said, Paul Pogba, that Marcus Rashford and Anthony Martial don't have the experience or quality of Edison Cavani. So there you go. I think Paul Pogba's playing a big part in our title challenge. He is our most expensive sign at the moment. We paid £89 million for him, and I think this is his 5th season at the football club since he rejoined. Now, we'll also keep Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw's really improved under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. Defensively, he's done well. He's got forward well, got in good positions and put some good crosses into the box. Surprisingly, Luke Shaw still remains our first choice left back, despite the arrival of Alex Telles. Alex Telles hasn't played as much as I expected, but there again, at one point he did have COVID. But my element of concern about Luke Shaw is that he's injury prone. We'll obviously keep Alex Telles. Got him last summer. Got him in a deal worth 15.4 million, and in some of the games he's played in, he has done quite well. He's got forward, he's put some good crosses into the box, but he's enjoyed a couple of bad games. We'll also keep Harry Maguire. I think Harry Maguire has really rejuvenated himself, bounced back from his early season troubles, because don't forget he had that incident in Greece before the start of the season. Despite Harry Maguire's good performances though, I still don't think he was worth the £80 million that we got him for. He's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment. But when he plays well, he shows that ability to play out from the back. He's very effective in the air, can be good from set pieces. Eric Bailly will certainly keep him, because he's played very well since he started playing again, and I certainly prefer him to Victor Lindelof. Again, my only element of concern about Bailly is that he's injury prone. But recently Bailly's made some very good interceptions, made some very good blocks. He's showed that ability to play out from the back. Bailly's been at the club now over 4 years. We paid £30 million for him from Villarreal back in 2016. And Wan-Bissaka will obviously keep him as well. Defensively superb, but obviously we've got concerns about his lack of attacking intent and his distribution. This is Wan-Bissaka's 2nd season, full season that is. Solskjaer praised Wan-Bissaka in his press conference building up to this game against Liverpool. He said he's regarded as one of the best 1-against-1 defensive fullbacks. Obviously we're going to keep De Gea, I think, for at least the next couple of seasons, because he's getting back to his best now. David De Gea is going to remain our number 1 for at least this season. This is his 10th season at Man United, so he has been a long servant and he's made over 500 appearances for the club in all competitions. We'll also keep Dean Henderson as well, and I think at some point Dean Henderson will become our number 1. Dean Henderson's played well in the games he's played in this season. Dean Henderson has now got that experience behind him. So yeah, there is a lot of players that, Man United are going to keep. You already know the news on Juan Mata. He could be leaving in the summer. Solskjaer admits that, Juan Mata's future is uncertain, but he said he's closing in on a Man United exit. I think his current contract expires in June, but we have an option to trigger his contract for a further year. Matt has been at the club now over 6 years. Don't forget, earlier on this season he rejected an £18 million a year contract offer to play in Saudi Arabia. We got him in a deal worth £40 million from Chelsea back in 2014. But like I say, we are looking to make around 4 signings this year to complete our squad overhaul. There's 3 trophies we can win this season. We can win the Premier League, we can win the FA Cup, and we can also win the Europa League. Solskjaer knows how important it is, to win his first trophy as Man United manager. We haven't won a trophy now for just over 4 years. And yes, we can win the Premier League this season. We're top of the league at the moment. We're in a very good position. No one expects us to be top of the league at this stage of the season, reflecting how poor we was earlier on this season, but just shows you some good results do change the complexion of things. There's a few teams that can win it, but if we win the Premier League, it'll be our first Premier League title since 2013 and our 21st overall. Solskjaer's been playing mind games in recent weeks. You know, he said that Man United are not in the title race. He said that after our 1-0 win against Wolves, but said if we are still challenging in March, he'll start to believe we are. And he said prior to the game against Burnley that we must stay humble and not think we've cracked it if we go top. But it would be a remarkable achievement to win the league this season. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop me comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.